Hi everyone, this is the week 8 overview. Excuse me. As always, we'll start by looking at the course calendar. So we can see things kind of synoptically, we can see things, get an overview, and then we'll go and look at each of these assignments in just a bit more detail. So we finished week 7 by actually submitting a draft of our Discourse Community Report. It's a huge step in the Discourse Community Report project. We also signed up for revision plan conferences. Here in week 8, aside from the discussion boards, we have another round of peer review. This is really similar to the peer review we did in, I say really similar, very, 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 very similar to the peer review we did in the Entering the Conversation argument project. So this means the similarities include you need to have a draft in by Sunday so that Monday morning when I get up I can put you into peer review groups. You'll be assigned 2 drafts. You'll give feedback on them. We'll look at how we do that in more detail in just a minute. So we're getting that peer review in by Wednesday because as soon as Thursday, we are attending revision plan conferences. Now, we'll look at those in a bit more detail, but at the outset, this is what we signed up for last week. And on Thursday and Friday, and also on Monday and Tuesday of week 9, we're going to be meeting one-on-one. So you'll be asked to attend your revision plan conferences to discuss, your project with me one-on-one. Those are our main assignments for this week. You'll see that into week 9, we're not going to have a discussion board on Wednesday or Sunday, of course, since Sunday is that Thanksgiving holiday. So really, after this peer review is turned in, aside from the replies to the week 8 discussion board, your biggest tasks for Thursday, Friday, or Monday, or Tuesday, depending on what your date is, your biggest task is to prepare and show up on time for our revision plan conferences. So let's look at the peer review in some detail, then we'll look at the revision plan conferences in some detail. So peer review on the Discourse Community Report, this should look really familiar to you. Logistically, we know that we need to get our draft in by Sunday so that we can be put into groups on Monday morning. If you don't put a draft in, you're not going to be assigned groups, you're not going to get any feedback, you're not going to be able to give any feedback, and that means you're not going to be able to earn those 50 points that this peer review is worth as well. I suggest maybe reviewing the readings we've done on what good feedback is. If you weren't satisfied with the grade you received in the entering the conversation argument, you might review some of the feedback from the rubric there. This is our chance to do better if you didn't do particularly well on the last peer review, but the mechanics are all going to be really similar here. We're going to give summative feedback in paragraph form. It's going to address the questions have changed, but it's going to address these really questions, these heuristics that are specific to our Discourse Community Report. We're also going to give annotated feedback. It's actually on the document itself, and we're going to fill in our rubric. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. We can talk one-on-one about it. If you struggled with this last time and you want to make sure you perform well on this peer review, please let me know. Of course, as always, as last time, we expect quality peer review. So it's definitely not a, did you give any peer review? Okay, you get full points, right? I'm going to be grading the peer review like I did previously based on these criteria. So any questions on the peer review, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And we know that our drafts can't be submitted late, and our peer review can't be submitted late. I can't accept late work on this peer review because it's coming in on Wednesday, and some of us have our revision plan conference on Thursday. Some of us need to take that. Some of us need to take that peer review, use it to make our revision plan before they meet with me the next day. So we have to get our peer review in on time. So what is all this revision plan discussion? Of course, please understand and read these prompts in detail. But briefly, there are 3 things we need to do to successfully complete this revision plan. Well, let me back up and give us some context. What is this assignment? Well, since this revision plan is really a culmination of a lot of work, it's a really high-stakes assignment, we're going to take the time to meet one-on-one to discuss your project and confirm a revision plan that sets you up to successfully craft an inquiry project that contributes to the scholarship on writing, rhetoric, and language literacy. It includes appropriate primary and secondary research. We know that this last part here is really just a learning outcome that we've been focusing on for the last few weeks. So I want you to go into the Thanksgiving weekend. I just want you to go forward having a revision plan and having confirmed it with me that like before you go and set out to do X, Y, or Z. Our goal here is to sort of discuss and I can help counsel you and say, yeah, perfect. Go do more primary research on this. Or I might say, I think we need to continue to refine our research question and focus on this, right? The goal is just to have a revision plan that we can be really confident about enacting. So the 3 things we need to do to complete the revision plan conference assignment is 1, we need to sign up for our conference times. If you haven't done that, you really need to reach out to me. I may be able to fit you in. I may not. We really needed to have done that last week. As soon as you realize you haven't made a plan with me, signed up for a conference with me, please let me know. Then before you sign up, after you sign up, but before you show up to our conference, please complete this revision plan. I don't really care how you complete it, but I'm going to ask you to bring it to our conference. That means I'm going to want to see it. I'm going to ask you to share your screen. We're going to discuss this, right? So these are just some reflective questions that we're going to ask that are designed to get you thinking about your essay and what we need to do to improve it. You are probably going to want to reflect on peer feedback to help you complete this revision plan. So step 1, sign up. Step 2, write out this revision plan. It can be in a Word document. You can have, if I were you, I would just take that text and just answer. I would just maybe copy and paste the questions, or in a Word document, just write the answers to each question. And do that before our Zoom conference, and then attend the conference itself. So yeah, please bring your revision plan. I'm going to ask you to share your screen so we can go over it together. And this is really one of the ways that we can make the most out of the 15 or 20 minutes that we're going to have together. Lastly, step 3 is important. Please show up to earn full points. More importantly, to get the most out of our time together. We need to show up on time to our Zoom meeting at your scheduled time. Heck, you might even want to show up a little bit early. I know Zoom takes a few minutes sometimes to connect for me. We're meeting in the regular office hours Zoom meeting, which has a waiting room. So you'll be able to join, be in the waiting room, and if you're early and I'm with another student, you'll just be in the waiting room, and I'll admit you when our time comes around. Of course, be prepared to discuss your project, ask questions, and take notes. I think this is really some of the most valuable time we have. in this class is finalizing a revision plan to complete this, you know, really important assignment successfully. And just an aside, I suppose, yes, you will get 0 points if you don't show up. But even worse, you'll be standing up your devoted writing teacher. And it turns out that writing instructors don't like being stood up more than anyone else. So please, please, please set a reminder, set 6 to show up punctually to our revision plan conference. You can see the grading criteria here. So that's what week 8 and 9 is going to look like. Of course, your revision plan time is different. Everyone has their own individualized revision plan time. But I will see you one-on-one either on Thursday or Friday or Monday or Tuesday. Then we'll depart, we'll break, we'll have a plan that we can be really confident in enacting, and we'll have some time to enact it because our our discourse community report and reflection isn't due until December 2nd. So all of us are going to have significant amount of time to do what we need to do to create the best discourse community report that we can. And we should have time, we will have time to make sort of higher order concern changes. If we need to follow up with some primary research, we should have the time to do that. If we need to do some more secondary research, we should have the time to do that. I'm giving us a substantial amount of time because we're not just going to leave these revision plans, you know, edit, proofread a few things on our discourse community report. We're going to revise in the truest sense of the word, seeing again, revisiting. We're going to have time to deal with you know, substantial issues if need be. So that's a good thing. Look forward to seeing you all either on Thursday or Friday of week 8 or Monday and Tuesday of week 9. See you soon.